Hello and welcome to the 42nd George B. Hartzog Jr. Awards Program. My name is Bob Powell and I am the director of Clemson University's Institute for Parks, which is focused on providing research, training, and outreach to enhance the management and protection of the world's parks and protected areas. The George B. Hartzog Jr. Awards Program began in 1978 with a financial gift to Clemson University from William C. Everhart and his wife, Mary, to honor the 7th director of the National Park Service for his many years of public service. The Everharts' initial gift to Clemson and those that followed from friends and admirers support today's activities and awards. This year's event is particularly important, not only because we are here to celebrate the legacy of George B. Hartzog Jr., native of South Carolina and longtime Clemson supporter, but also because we will recognize the accomplishments of 6 amazing leaders in the parks and conservation field, who I would like to acknowledge now. Dr. John Day Jr., Distinguished Professor Emeritus in the Department of Oceanography and Coastal Sciences at Louisiana State University, and Dr. Kelly Bricker, Professor and Chair of the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Management at the University of Utah, were presented the Benton H. Box Award. Dr. Carrie Cahill, Branch Chief of the National Park Service's Denver Service Center Planning Division, was presented the Walter T. Cox Award. Dr. Paul Leonard, Science Coordinator for the Arctic Program of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service in Fairbanks, Alaska, was presented the Dwight A. Holder Award. George McDonald, Chief of Youth Programs for the National Park Service, was presented the Robert G. Stanton Award. And finally, Dr. Drew Lanham, author, poet, and distinguished alumni professor and provost professor in the Department of Forestry and Environmental Conservation at Clemson University, was presented the William C. Everhart Award. Congratulations to each award winner, and thank you for all that you do to protect our natural and cultural heritage. This year's program is completely virtual, and I urge you to visit our website and view the videos to learn more about each award winner. Robert G. Stanton, 15th Director of the National Park Service, and Fran Mainella, 16th Director of the National Park Service, will now make a few concluding remarks.
Director George B. Hartzog Jr. was and is one of the most legendary of all the directors of the National Park Service. And I submit I'm a little biased in terms of his direct support and encouragement that he gave me during the course of my career. But it was Director Hartzog who brought on the first African-American superintendent, brought on American Indians to be superintendents of park. And I think when Director Hartzog came into office, there was only one lady who was serving as a superintendent, and she has transferred to the Park Service from an organization that heretofore had responsibility of the parks where she was stationed. I would ask our young people to become more conversant with the leadership of Director Hartzog and hear from his own words of what his challenges were and how he met that challenge in a book that he personally authored. It's called Battling for the National Parks by George B. Hartzog Jr., the 7th Director of the Park Service, a gentleman from South Carolina for whom I will always be grateful.
Welcome to the 42nd George B. Hartzog Jr. Awards Program. I want to congratulate the 6 award winners for 2020 and say, well done. This is such an important program that recognizes such leaders across our country. I personally have been involved with this program for 19 years, and you're supposed to say, oh, you're not that old. But I have been involved. In fact, now there is an award in my name, and I am so proud to be involved with this program.